Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another quick pick prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting the PFL bout for the undisputed featherweight PFL tournament championship between let me say his name right, Brendan Loughnane versus Bubba Jenkins. So Brendan Loughnane versus Bubba Jenkins. Now this one right here, I'm gonna go high confidence Brendan Loughnane to beat Bubba Jenkins. I just think what I've always kind of noticed with Bubba Jenkins, like always solid, phenomenal wrestler and whatnot, and good fighter. I feel like a lot of times these fights, when he's going in with decent guys, like almost like he's fighting just to last and not really fighting to win, not really fighting to dominate. I mean, he wants to dominate. I feel like in most cases when he's fighting, I really see him looks good for all around. Most times, like he just got his gas tank on E, or like he seemed like he's going with like a low gas tank. And he just goes out there to basically just not outlast his opponent, but just outlast the clock. That's what it seemed like. And Brendan Loughnane, it's a lot of little different pluses and minuses and stat wise going ahead. Also, it helps that Brendan Loughnane did just beat the guy and Chris Wade, who beat him pretty comfortably, who beat Bubba Jenkins. And Chris Wade's a pretty solid wrestler on his side as well. And Brendan Loughnane again beat him. So yeah, that's a good thing to be coming off of. Bubba Jenkins is coming off a win over, I think, Ryoji, I forget the new name, but who Brendan Loughnane kind of struggled with. But like I said, the pluses and minuses. Like Bubba Jenkins, I would say, is a better wrestler, grappler for sure than Brendan Loughnane. He can be for sure there. But also, Brendan Loughnane was taking advantage of him on the grappling. So, like I said, you go in there with a guy that's, can be exploited in the grappling department. You go in there with a better grappler can have better success. Versus like a more well-rounded fighter, going there with a fighter who's pretty well-rounded, but yeah, like just all that plus minuses and style make fights. But Brendan Loughnane has the grappling skills to at least, not get Bubba, really make Bubba, like, he has the skills to make Bubba Jenkins have to work, is all I'm saying. Like, he can get back to his feet. He got grappling as well. He got some submission skills. Like, obviously, I don't think enough to really submit Bubba Jenkins fresh or anything, but he has the skills to make, Bubba Jenkins has to work, really had to spin himself. And I also feel like Brendan Loughnane can go look good for 5 rounds, or at least look good for 3 rounds. And I feel like he's got has a style that where he's not out there looking to just outlast or outlast the clock. He can outlast his opponent, can outwork his opponent. It's like cardio isn't as big of an issue for him as Bubba Jenkins. So now I feel like he's the more well-rounded fighter. I feel like he blends his art together better. Where I feel like Bubba Jenkins still very much more so, this athletic wrestler. Like, he got a wrestling background. His jiu-jitsu kind of comes in now and then, but it's more so like just an athletic wrestler, not more like a guy that's a full-rounded mixed martial artist. But he, like, again, just an athletic wrestler. Like you put him in boxing, like you're gonna see where his striking is at, or put him in pure striking, you're gonna see where he's striking at. Put him in BJJ or something, you probably gonna see where he's grappling at. But when you can use that wrestling background and like the athleticism, like it can make those gaps look better. Like same with Tyron Woodley and some of these other guys, like they can look better in those departments because they do have that wrestling they can rely on it. But when you take away the wrestling from them, they can't just like kind of cover the gaps with the athleticism no more. They purely got to focus on the skills. Like you clearly see how limited they are. And I feel like Bubba Jenkins is in that category. No insult, just reality. You probably gonna see like these younger wrestlers come up by like 19, 21, 22 years old, but that wave of wrestlers, like that's in their 30s and such now, you really ain't saying that much. Maybe back when TRT was available, they could cover the gaps even better because then they had the energy and whatnot. But I'm talking about this video way too much. I just feel like Brendan Loughnane can look better over the course of the round. I feel like Bubba Jenkins does have a clear fading issue, and I feel like Brendan Loughnane can extend him. I feel like he can dress the wrestling and grappling. I feel like he might give a couple early rounds, but I definitely think he'll win the war of attrition and be able to outwork Bubba Jenkins. Probably beat him to decision. Loughnane not really a stopping fighter, so probably be a close, rounds early going Jenkins, but the later rounds, 3, 4, 5, probably clearly going to Loughnane. Maybe he was still in one of the first rounds as well, like first 2 rounds as well. But I think definitely more so, you look at the trend of the fight, probably Loughnane more so late, those later 3 rounds, and Bubba Jenkins more so those first 2 rounds, if he gets those. And it can be mixed up. Maybe Loughnane wins the 2nd round, maybe 3rd round be close, and maybe this, that. But ultimately, I feel like it's definitely going to shift more so Loughnane. The fight goes longer as Jenkins starts to slow down and fatigue. 3 rounds will be closer, but 5 rounds, that cardio going to be a bigger factor. Now, Jenkins probably going to train for it, but I don't think it's going to help all that much. And I think Loughnane, down the stretch, just gets stronger and stronger. And Jenkins, like I said, slows down. And Brendan Loughnane starts to be able to, dictate the pace of the fight, keep the fight on the feet, and just use that height, use that reach, and use that striking to get his licks on Jenkins and get his hand raised over Jenkins. So in this one, I got Brendan Loughnane via decision.